jettee.lupe here, and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode, we are going to talk about Amazon. So I actually am an Amazon affiliate, which means that I have a specific Amazon page that's dedicated to all of the things that I recommend. So everything that you see on this video today that I mention will be on the Amazon page. And I just want to talk about really quick about how the page is broken down. Basically, once you go to my link tree on my Instagram or on here, you can find it. It will give you a link to my Amazon page, and on there it is broken down in different categories. Each costume that I've made, that I have a lot of Amazon products from, it's listed by costume. So if you want to know, like over here we have my Selina wig and hat. If you're like, oh man, like I love the wig that you used for Selina, where can I find it? It'll be listed under there as the Selina costume, along with all the other things that I've bought from Amazon. Some things you have to be careful when you go on there, because the picture will show the wrong item, and there's like a little note thing in like the top right hand corner or something of the product that will tell you like, oh, make sure, you know, I bought the blue ones or something like that. You'll see what I mean if you go there. So just make sure that you're looking at the right product if you're going to get the same one. So the first thing that you'll notice is that there are a bunch of wigs behind me. They're all from Amazon. I just want to talk about them really quick. These are some of my favorite wigs, favorite things that I found. I have so many wigs. I think I have like 30 wigs. All of my wigs, except for one, are from Amazon. So I feel like that means a lot when I'm talking about like Amazon products. So I will actually start with the wig that I'm wearing. So this is for Ruby from Love Live. I just pulled this out of the bag. I just got this the other day. It was Ruby's birthday the other day. I thought, what a perfect time to purchase my first Love Live specific wig than on Ruby's birthday. And I will say that when you are buying wigs on Amazon, if you buy them through Prime, you can usually ship them back for free, which is good when you're looking at colors, because of course looking at colors online can sometimes be a little bit hard to gauge what you're actually going to get, but luckily if you have Prime or something like that, you can usually ship it back if it doesn't work, and I have done that a few times when things haven't been the exact right color. So on video, I know this looks a little dark for Ruby, and I know all y'all Love Live people are like, oh, that's not accurate. Same thing with the bangs. Like I said, I just pulled this out of the bag yesterday. I still have to style it. I do know that like these little pigtails need to be cut down to be more accurate. The color is a tad dark, but in the light, like in the sunlight, it's definitely the right color. And another reason why I bought this specific wig and why I'm a little bit nervous about cutting the bangs is because I want to be able to use this one for Maki as well. These actually are clips and you can just pull them off. So one thing about like clip wigs in general is that they're so versatile. So if I want to wear a character that has one big ponytail, I can put these two ponytails behind and wear a ponytail. I can take these off and wear the same wig for Maki because they do have really similar hair colors. And again, this was labeled specifically for Ruby. I do think it's a little bit dark, but when I stand next to like other dark red wigs that I have, by the way, I don't know why, I have so many red wigs. I've done so many redheads, so I don't know. So I actually have two to show today too, including this one. So the thing about Amazon wigs in general is that I find they are very cheap compared to like some of the other brands like Arta or Epic Cosplay wigs or any of those. And I do have one Arta wig and it is really nice quality, and I will say you are going to lose a bit of like quality when it comes to buying and most of the Amazon wigs. Like they're going to tang a little bit easier. Like this one in particular smells a little bit like plasticky, so I will leave this one out for a few days just to air out. But overall, the wigs that I'm going to show you have all been between $10 and $25 each, Prime, so they are coming very quickly. So as you can see, all these wigs are on these pink stands, and I actually do want to point these out. These are also from Amazon, and they are like incredibly cheap, like maybe they're like $3 each. Let me show you what the packaging looks like. So this will be listed under my Cosplay Essentials category, sorry. So basically the way it comes, whoops, if I don't drop parts of it, it comes with these two like pink pieces, these flat pieces, and then this round part. So basically it's so easy to put together. I mean, these are great to travel with. I travel with these when I have a wig that's styled, something that once I get to the hotel, I want to take it out and leave it out of the bag so that it's not squished, and so that I can restyle it a little bit if I have to. Now, these are not what I'm going to use to style a wig at home. They are, they're very light, so they're really great for displaying wigs like I'm doing right now with these ones behind, just so that you can see them. If you have a shop at a booth or something like that at a con, and you want to put, like, for example, I would put like my evolution ears on these or something like that, like put a matching wig on them and then put the evolution ears on it so that you can kind of see the whole picture. These are so great to travel with because look at, they're totally thin. You can pack a bunch of these in your suitcase and just pull them out and set them up, and they take like less than 10 seconds to set up. I love these, and they're only $3 or something like that. They're super cheap. So anyway, I definitely like these, and you'll get to see these up close. You also get to see another wig stand at the end of my row of wigs here, so we'll get to that. One of my favorite wigs that I've ever bought is the Selina wig, so I'm gonna pick it up. Also, this hat is also from Amazon. I really had some trouble finding like a hat that was gonna work for Selina, so I did find this one, and I was pretty happy with it, and I've used this one several times. I actually used to have a different wig for Selina up until AwesomeCon this year, so a few months ago. I found this one. Sorry, it's hard for me to look at the camera and the thing, and it's like opposite of the way that my body wants to go. Anyway, this is, I mean, one of the best quality wigs that I have from Amazon as well. I have thrown this, I've only worn it a few times, but like, let me tell you, it's been through a lot. It's really realistic looking, which I love. I have worn this one like on a regular day. Sorry, I want to like put this over here so you can see better. But it's really long. You can tell, you know, it is, again, you are going to get a little bit of tangling and things like that with an Amazon wig. You're going to get that really with any wig, but definitely, again, missing out on some of the quality. But I had such a hard time finding like an accurate Selina wig, and once I finally found this one and like got it home, I love it. It's so thick, it's so soft. It really does look like, especially like in real life, it really does look like real hair. And when I've worn this, I've had people mistake this for my real hair. So this one I really liked, and I just want to show this this wig stand up close, and you can see the way that it goes together is you pretty much just, if I don't knock it over, pretty much these like two pieces just come together. Again, real easy, real simple, takes like 5 seconds. But again, this is just one of my favorite wigs. I have so many wigs, I could show all of them, but I don't have time. Another one that I really love is my Bloom wig. So this is, okay, well, I have two Bloom wigs up here. This is my Charmix Bloom wig. This is like the wig that I would wear if I was wearing like just a casual Bloom or her Charmix. It's very long, it's very nice. It definitely feels like not the best quality wig, but when I'm wearing it, it looks great. It does tangle a little bit, but I really struggled finding like the right color wig. This was one that I had shipped back, at least one other wig. It just wasn't the right color, I just didn't like it. So when I found this one though, I felt like, to me, it was as accurate as I could be, and it's very long, it's really, really pretty, and I just really like this one a lot. And, you know, when you think about an Amazon wig, you kind of think of like party style wigs, things like that, but this is really nice. So I just wanted to show you some of my favorites here. Now this wig, I have this wig in 3 colors. That's how much I love this wig. And I wanted to show you this one. This is the one that I wore for Vaporeon. I wanted to show this one because I really, really love the ombre in this one. It is not your computer. It is going from dark blue down to this light blue. This comes in like a bunch of different colors. It's pretty cheap. Maybe it's like $15 or $20. I have it in black. This is the one that I've worn for both Luna and Blake Belladonna, and then I have it in the purple, which is the one that I've worn for Espeon. It also has an ombre on. So this next wig is currently a hot mess. This is my Bluemix wig, and I know you guys are thinking like, oh, all the other wigs were so nice, like why are you showing this one? So this is it is a massive wig. It is very long. It also has multiple colors in it. So this was a big project. This was 3 wigs, which I like Frankensteined and sewed into one. So it is very long, it's very thick, it tangles very easily because it is multiple wigs that I sewed together. So, but what I really wanted to show off was this wig stand. So this is a different wig stand from these other ones. This is actually like a styling head. It is canvas, and it has this like clamp thing on the bottom. I've shown this a few times on my live streams because I have struggled with finding a wig head that was on like a nice stand that I could actually style with. This is like been a lifesaver. Now I have only used this maybe 2 or 3 times since I've gotten it. I got this recently, but the way that I had to style this wig in particular when I was making this back in the spring, I had like an old broken tripod with like a styrofoam head, and I see a lot of people with like crazy contraptions that they use to style their wigs, and I'm just like, this is the best product that I have tried, and it's so inexpensive. It's like $20, and not only does it come with this whole apparatus, they sent me in the same package like clips and pins and thread for like wig making. They even sent me like an empty like netted weft, if that makes sense, so that you can make your own wig. I was like amazed, and this is really, really nice, and you can put this on the edge of like any table. So this is such a long wig that it needs to be on like a higher up table. So what I will do is actually put this table on top of like a wooden board or something, just so that I can get to the bottom more easily. The reason why this is 3 wigs is because if you look at Bluemix, she has like 3 different colors in her hair. She has 2 different color reds and a pink. And so when I stand next to this wig, it's probably really hard to tell, but this is definitely more of a red than this. So again, on camera I know this looks a little dark for Ruby, but in real life it's a good color, especially next to these red ones. So this was again 3 wigs, and you can kind of see the different, I know this looks like a hot mess, but I'm fixing it up currently. That's why it's on this as well. But there are 3 different colors. There's pink and there's 2 different color reds. And each of these 3 wigs was only just over $10. When you go into my Amazon thing, you'll see the Bluemix Bloom category, and you will see there are 3 different wigs here, and they were only like $10 each. So really, for this large of a wig and this thick and this many colors, it only cost me about $30. It cost me a lot of my time to go in and sew all of these wefts together, but with any wig that I'm styling, it's going to take some time. And if you go and look up Bluemix, you'll understand why she has like a piece of hair hanging down and a poof and all this. But again, for $10 each, I figured if I screwed it up, it wouldn't be that big of a deal because I'm not losing that much money on it. So that is the wig portion of this talk. So the next portion we will jump into. So the next thing I want to talk about is fabric. And I know that sounds really scary. It is really scary to go online and buy a fabric when you know that you don't really know what color it's going to be until you see it in real life. And again, it's nice because sometimes you can send this stuff back for free. But I have found a few fabrics that I have just absolutely loved, and then I continue to buy from that vendor. And you know, sometimes you just get lucky. And I have also found that some fabrics are more expensive in real life. You can find a very similar fabric, or even the exact same fabric, for cheaper online. And again, you need to be careful because some vendors are not as good quality as others. But I'll just show you some examples of stuff that I found that ended up being way cheaper on Amazon, or just things that you can't find like at Joann's or something like that. They're limited. They only have so much space versus Amazon has the entire internet to, you know, go off of. So 2 of my favorite fabrics that I have gone on Amazon, and these are very recent ones. This is my Vaporeon tail. It's it's a tail, but this fabric is one of my favorite fabrics that I have ever used. It is like a 2-way stretch holographic mermaid print. It actually comes in multiple colors, so I'll just show it up close because I love it. And that's actually what my nails match right now. It is listed on there under Vaporeon. This foam is also listed up on there because I love glitter, so of course everything is glittery. When you're looking for holographic fabrics, you are usually pretty limited in the stores as to what you're going to find, especially something with a stretch. So I was really happy to find this one in a stretch. I use this on my ears as well. I love this fabric, and it comes in multiple colors. And it's just something I wanted to point out, like something that I found that I love that might work for you. The other fabric that I wanted to show is another one I just got the other day. And it's totally holographic. Like, it is so sparkly. And the thing is, you would not believe, this is a photo drop background. So it is not like marketed as sewing fabric, but I don't see why I can't sew through this. And it's super soft. It is not really stretchy. It seems like it stretches one way, but it doesn't seem like you're supposed to stretch it. So that's the only downfall when you're buying some fabrics online. They may say they're 4-way stretch, they may say they're stretched, and then you get them and they're not. This was just a backdrop. I kind of knew it wasn't going to be stretchy, but I'm using it for a skirt anyway, so I love it. It is very similar to the fabric that I ended up using for my Charmix Bloom, and I may end up using this on my Tynex costume. We'll see, just because it doesn't stretch, so it's a little bit hard, but this was $20 for, this is a 5-foot by 7-foot piece of fabric, so this is like about as wide as a regular like yard of fabric, but it is 2 yards for $20. And when I go into like Joann's or whatever and I'm looking at holographic fabric, they usually don't have a lot, but this much fabric is going to cost me like almost double that. So you can sometimes find really great fabrics on there. Some other fabrics that I've gotten on Amazon, and you'll be able to find these under the costumes if I've used any fabrics. On my Glacian costume, some of the fabric that I used on the skirt was from an Amazon vendor that was Prime, and it was beautiful, and it was 4-way stretch Lycra. It's the same teal color that I also used on my Bluemix costume. There's also on my Glacian costume this really sparkly mesh 4-way stretch fabric, and I could not find a stretch fabric that was this sparkly and the right color blue. So sometimes you can find stuff that you just can't find anywhere else on Amazon. Sometimes you have to play with what you type in, and again, like, you know, this wasn't even labeled as like fabric. This was labeled, you know, this is a photo drop background thing. So you kind of can play around and find some really great stuff for like a good price, in my opinion. I love my holo, and it's hard to find. The next thing I want to discuss is buying actual pieces for your costume on Amazon, and also getting pieces that you can kind of rework for your costume. So I'll show you what I mean. So for example, tails. Tails can be really annoying to make, even though I just showed you guys my Vaporeon tail. It was a lot of work to figure out how to get a tail that could like attach to a belt and stuff like that. And sometimes you are trying to make a bunch of costumes for an upcoming convention and you're kind of just like running out of time, and you're like, can I just buy this already made? Like, sometimes, you know, you want to try to make a lot of things, and sometimes you just run out of time, or sometimes it's just very expensive to make some of the items, and sometimes it's easier to just get it on Amazon. So I got my my Ichigo tail. Now I took the bell off because it'd be really annoying if it was jingling right now. I got this tail for like $7. It actually came with cat ears, but I had different ones that I liked better, which I'll show in a minute. But like I said, tails can be really hard, and also trying to figure out how to attach this to a formal dress. I ended up wearing a formal dress with this, and it actually works out because it has this elastic part on it that goes around your waist, so you don't have to worry about pinning it to your dress or whatever. I mean, when I go to make New Ichigo in the future, I definitely will make a different tail because I just want it to sit differently. But this was so nice and easy for $7 Prime, and it came like, you know, in time and everything like that. And I was pretty happy with it, and it worked out really well. You can go over to my Instagram and you'll be able to see photos of it. And again, it was like $7, and I was just like, this is so much easier than worrying about making a tail. If you've seen my Espeon costume, you know I have a very long handmade tail on that one, and it's just a lot of work. And sometimes it's nice to just relax and have something that's already made for you. And I know I just mentioned cat ears, so I do want to talk about some of my favorite ones. I have these in a few different colors. I bought these before I was really into making costumes, so these are not made by me. I do have these in white as well. I use these for these black ones I use for Mew Ichigo, Blake, and Luna. And I have these in white, which I've used for a little nine tails and just like in general, just to like look cute one day. And these are like, again, like $7. They come in a bunch of different colors. You'll see them listed under both. You'll see these listed under Nine Tails and Mew Ichigo, and I think just my cosplay essentials in general. They're very, very nice. They're very fluffy. I really like these. Again, just something that, you know, could be a staple, and if you just want to like look cute one day, I mean, these are great, and they're already made, and they're made really well, and they're very soft and cute. Something that I really have a lot of trouble with making, and I know a lot of people have trouble making them, and again, sometimes it's just easier and cheaper just to get them on Amazon when you want to. Gloves. I have so many gloves from Amazon. These two are new gloves, but I've bought gloves for Sylveon and Alola Ninetales and Gardevoir and Claire. I've worn Amazon gloves so many times, and they're really, really cheap, like between like $5 and $10, and they're already made, and they come and they fit nice. So these are actually my Wooloo gloves that I haven't finished that one yet, but that one's coming up. But anyway, they're really nice, and they're lace, and they have little bows on them and stuff. And again, like, I would not be able to make these, and they look really, really nice. These ones are the ones that I wore from Mew Ichigo. They are not accurate, but for the look I was going for the formal, these were fine. They were quick and easy to buy. You know, when I go to make Mew Ichigo, I will make more accurate ones. There's one thing you lose a little bit of accuracy when you're buying things on Amazon sometimes, but like in general, they were cheap, and I cannot make gloves yet. So another thing that's really nice to find, and something that I had talked about before with taking an item and kind of making it your own. This was a white visor. This is the visor that I used for my Rosa cosplay. It was just a white visor, and I added this ribbon to it, and it was super cheap, and like, there we go, I have like an accurate Rosa hat. I've done this with several items. I can buy them off of Amazon and then kind of make them how I need. Rosa's shirt actually is a Amazon bought shirt, but I made the Pokeball decal that goes here, and it was easier than making the whole shirt myself. The last thing I want to talk about is getting like tools and supplies like that on Amazon. I think I found like 99% of the time it's cheaper on Amazon to buy tools and things like that, which I will show you on Amazon. Not pictured here is my Heat Fix tool for Hot Fix rhinestones, which I love, and again was really cheap on Amazon. It's listed under my tech category, but anyway, I love it. It's just a lot to take it out because there's rhinestones and everything everywhere, but it's again something that I found really, really cheap on Amazon, which I haven't really been able to find in stores anyway, so it was just easier to buy it on there. A secret to my costumes. A lot of times I like to make little gems and things like that. Like, I'll show you my Mew pendant, which I made. Let's see if we can get it to focus on the Mew pendant. I made this myself, and I don't have resin, but yet I was able to make this, and I will show you how I made it. Well, at least tell you how I made it. So I purchased a whole resin mold kit on Amazon. It was super cheap, and like, I don't know anything about resin, and I wasn't ready to like start doing resin, but it comes with, it comes with a bunch of these, and I'll just show you like the two that I use the most often. I especially use like this one very often. It has like different shapes and stuff, so I don't have resin, like I said. I use hot glue. These were great. These are silicone. I've also used these with Model Magic, like clay and stuff like that, but basically for the Mew pendant, I filled this up with hot glue, and then I was able to just pop it out, and then I had a gem. I use this all the time for gems and things like that. Really cheap, something I found on Amazon. I was like, oh, you know, I can use this with the hot glue instead of resin, and it kind of gives the same effect, and I don't have to pay as much for it. So that's an example of kind of thinking outside of the box, finding like, is there something else I can use that's less expensive and easier to use than having to pay somebody to make a resin gem for me, or having to 3D print it, things like that. It's just much easier, and it was so cheap, and I couldn't believe it. I have found that adhesives are another thing that are really cheap on Amazon compared to buying them in the store. Not pictured here is the wood glue that I just bought the other day. It was like $3 for like a like this size bottle, and I couldn't believe it. And again, when you go to the store, sometimes you can use coupons in the store. That's one thing you can't use on Amazon, is coupons a lot of the time. But these in general, I have found, are cheaper on Amazon than in the store. So just another thing to look out for. Sometimes what I will even do is, while I'm standing in the store looking at something, I will go on Amazon on my phone and see, can I get this cheaper on Amazon? Because most likely I can get it Prime, and it's like, if I purchase it in the store today, yes, I'll have it today, but can I wait 2 days to get it Prime? And if I can and it's cheaper, then I always wait. So another thing that I have found on Amazon that is cheaper is buying things in bulk. Now, the quality, you can find that, depending on what you're buying, you can find good or bad quality. So something that I really think is a great deal is like perler beads. So you can buy the little melty beads that you need for these, like pretty cheap in bulk. The only thing that I have found is that there are different brands out there of these melty beads, and some work better than others. So when you're on Amazon, you are just going to want to look at the right brand. So if there's something that you love that brand, try to find that specific brand on Amazon. The only other thing about Amazon is sometimes you get it and the seller did not send you that brand. So that is one thing I have found with the perler beads that can be like, yes or no, am I going to get the right thing? So that's one thing, but luckily you can usually send it back pretty easily. Again, with buying in bulk, these are zippers. There's like every color you could think of. These are 22-inch zippers. This whole bag, there's like 40 in here, was like $15. And again, they're 22 inches, so they're pretty long, but I figured I can just cut them to whatever size I need. Now, this bulk package comes in different varieties. It comes in all black, all white, or you can find them shorter, longer, things like that. But $15 for all these zippers, and I could not believe that I was spending $4 or $5 on a zipper when I went to the store per zipper. I'm like, I could just buy this. Like, yeah, it may not come in the exact color you need, but are you really going to be able to find the exact color you need in the store either? Plus, it comes with white, so you could just dye it if you need to. Anyway, buying things on bulk. I also buy all the hair clips that I use for my evolution ears, things like that, bulk on Amazon. Way cheaper than buying like the little pack of them in the store. Things like that. Rhinestones, just so many things you can get in bulk on Amazon. And a nice thing about Amazon is that you can look and price everything out while you're there. You have so many options. So many options. Even when it comes to like lace. Lace trim can be so expensive because it's always associated with like wedding stuff, and they always jack up the prices for that. But like, again, kind of playing around with your keywords that you're typing in, you can find some really great items like for way cheap. So the last item that I want to show, and again, there's so much more out there. There are so many things, and if you have any questions at all and you want to know where did I get this wig or whatever, you can check out the Amazon page, and if you don't see something listed on there, just send me a message on Instagram, and maybe I didn't get that on Amazon or something like that, so at least I can help you out there. But like, one of my favorite things that you can get on Amazon for really cheap, and it seems weird, are these little thimbles. So these are little silicone thimbles, and they come in like a pack of a bunch. Like, I think they come in a bag of like 20 or something like that. I use these all the time for hot glue. Hot glue is actually dangerous, and these are great. I also use these when I'm using nail polish or a lot of different paints and things like that, because I don't want to get it all over my hands. Plus, especially if you're using it with nail polish, it will it'll come off of these pretty easily. And I love using these with hot glue, especially when you need to like pinch something down, you don't want to burn your hands. These are amazing, and these are just something that everybody should have, and I love them.